Okay, welcome back guys, my name's Steven and this is The Sound of Tech. So, a few months ago probably, I started an Adobe Premiere Pro tutorial. So in that video we went over the layout of Premiere Pro. This series is all for the beginners, so in this video we're going to talk about how to do a basic edit on a video in Premiere Pro. Let's get started, shall we? Okay, so in the last video we went over how to start a project or to open a project, so I'll just do that quickly. I'll give it a little name, I'll just go to tutorial, I'll save it. So we have our starting page, which you all should have seen or would have seen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a few video clips, about 4, and I'll show you how to import them into Premiere Pro and also how to basically put them together and cut bits out that you don't want. And then we'll have a little look at music and how we can make that fit in and adjust volumes on that. So what we're going to do, you can either come down here and double click on the project area, or you can just go into your folders and you can drag your footage in. That's what I'm going to do. So I have a few little clips from my keyboard review that I'm going to place in here. So I'm just going to drag them from my folder into the project area. We'll wait for them to sink in. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to drag one of these from there to the timeline. So what we're going to know, when we drag these clips in here, what it's going to do is it's going to select them all. So we want to click in the middle somewhere about here to deselect them so that we can choose one at a time. Then we'll go through, try and find the one that we want to start off with, something like that. You can drag that onto the timeline here. So you sure I just dragged it on. And then what we're going to do is we're going to skim through. I'm just going to turn my volume down. Skim through until we find the bit that we like. So I'm going to go from somewhere like that. And now there's 2 ways that you can shorten this. You can drag, it will snap to here. So we'll go through, we'll just find, that looks good, going up to somewhere like that. And then what we'll do is we'll grab the razor tool and we will chop it right there. So if you have more than one clip that you want to cut, you'll press the shift while you click it and it will cut all the way down. But since this is just one clip and one piece of audio together, we can just click it and it will cut both of them. So I'm going to delete this, so I'm going to click on it. We'll go back over here to the selection tool, or V on the keyboard. Click this and then we'll press and delete. So what you can do now is you can either drag this forward back to the front of your timeline, or you can click here, this blank spot, and click delete on your keyboard, or backspace for Windows users. Okay, so what we have so far is just this clip here. I don't know that I'm going to use all of it, but we're going to put them all together and then we'll try and find some music and we'll just talk a little bit about cutting to the audio. Okay, what next? I think I choose one of my smoke clips. So I'm going to drag that onto the timeline. I'm going to go through and find the bit that I like. Something like that. Cut it down like that. Delete that. Okay. That's looking pretty good so far. See, it's very simple to put a video together. So maybe if you're just doing a vlog and you just want to put clips together, that's how you do it. Okay, and I'll put these last 2 in. I'll go with the theme of something than smoke. So I want to cut that last bit out where I move again, where the camera moves. We'll go like that, and we'll cut about there. Okay, so, and then the last piece of smoke. So I'll start about there, and delete. And you want to cut that last bit out too. Okay, awesome. So what we're going to do quickly now is I'm going to add some fading effects. So what I'll do is I'll fade in from the beginning and then I'll fade out at the end. So there's a few ways to do this, but the easiest way is click on your little arrows here and go into your effects library. Then what you want to search in there is cross, oh whoops, I can't spell, cross, and you can either go cross dissolve because it's at the beginning because it's at the beginning and the end. It's black at the beginning, so we'll fade from black and we'll do the other way. Otherwise what we do is we go dip, so we can dip to white or dip to black. So we can drag the dip to black at the end and it'll fade out. Right, so you can either use cross dissolve. This is more, usually use cross dissolve when you're going between one video and another. But at the beginning where it's going from black, you can cross dissolve or go black into your video. Otherwise you can use dip to black or dip to white. There are a bunch of transitions pre-installed that come with Premiere Pro. Otherwise you can find free ones or you can pay for some online that you can download to give more cool effects, which will actually save you a lot of time in the long run because you're not trying to make your own transitions. Okay, so for these videos, since I'm going to put music behind it, I don't really want this background audio. So what I'm going to do is, since these videos are linked with the audio, I'm going to right click or two finger click on a Mac, and we're going to go to unlink. So what this will do is it will unlink the video from the audio, see? So I'm going to do that for all of them. What I can do is click shift and press each of the videos, right click or two finger click, click unlink. Then what I'll do is I'll drag across like this and press delete. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to find some audio and I'm going to drop it in to my project area. Okay, so I have this music that I added into my project area. What you want to do when you're finding music is you want to find some non-copyright music. You can find plenty of it on the internet, or you can use websites like Epidemic Sound or artlist.io for video. Epidemic Sound is more for YouTube creators, and Artlist.io lets you use it for commercial use and stuff like that. So once you find that audio, download it, and then we'll put it in our project area, and we'll drag that across and into our timeline. So down here we're in A1 where our audio is, but if you have audio in A1, what you can do, bring it down so you don't delete that audio, or you can bring it down as far as you need. So what we're going to do is we're going to watch it with the audio, then we're going to fade the audio out at the end and also change the volume of the audio. So okay, so that looked pretty good. What we're going to do is we're going to come to the end here. We're going to look at the volume tools. Okay, so if you click on here, click on the audio track and then come up to your effects control, you'll see this audio effects. So what you can do here is you can change the volume of the audio. But this is the important part for fading out, is we have this animation stopwatch here. So what this does is it lets us add keyframes or points to which there's a certain volume. So if you're trying to change the whole volume of the track and you don't need it to fade out or in, what you do is you unpress the stopwatch and you can change the volume up or down and it will do the whole track. So as you can see, if I go -15, the audio is a lot quieter than when it's at 0. Alright? And then what we'll do is for now we'll put our stopwatch back on and put a keyframe. It automatically put that there, but a keyframe here on the timeline where our video starts to fade out, and that's 0 decibels, so that's loud. That's like normal volume. And then we'll go to the end of our video clip and we'll fade this down to say -200 because we want it to fade all the way out. So, and you'll see as we watch it back. Let's skip forward a bit. And our audio faded out. That's pretty cool. So that works if the volume is at 0 decibels and you're going to fully out. But say there's different points in the audio where you want to fade it up and then down. What you can do is you can just add a keyframe, change the volume, do it like that, right? So if we zoom into our keyframes that we added before, what we'll see, when I find it, what we'll see is that our first keyframe is at 0 decibels and our second keyframe is at -200. So between those two, it's going to fade between 0 and 200. So if I add another one here, let's say -20, it'll go from -20 all the way up to 0 and then all the way back down to -200. So like this. Right? We don't normally do that in a video, but say you're putting an intro on top and you want it to get a little bit louder during the intro and then down back for the voice, that's what we'll normally do. And normally when I have a voice, depending on how loud the voice is and the music, I'll probably go about -25 decibels or -27, just play around to figure out what volume works for you. And then what we can do, since the audio is fully faded out there, we can just cut that audio track and delete the rest of it. So now when we go to export, it will only export to 31 seconds. Okay, so that was a very basic edit, but that's what this series is. It's for beginners, so if you're a beginner and you have questions on how to use Adobe Premiere, leave them in the comments down below so that I can get to answering them, and yeah, you can become a better editor, I guess. So yeah, if you like this video, smash the thumbs up button. If you want to see more videos from our channel, more tutorials, press the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss another episode. So yeah, see you guys in the next one. Have a good day.